and the omnibus. So I was forced into the Archers when I was a child. And look, it's come back to bite me later on. I'm awash with this stuff.
The Archers is the world's longest-running radio show, with more than 15,000 episodes broadcast. Despite being a rural flavor show, The Archers is recorded in the heart of...
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we are plunging into a set of sources that, I think, really pull back the curtain on the intense domestic pressure cooker that's just simmering beneath the surface of everyday life.
It really is. We've got a stack of material here that focuses on two different family units, but they're both dealing with this overwhelming squeeze of financial stress.
And how that stress just instantly fractures trust in a relationship.
Instantly. And it exposes these really deep-seated anxieties. It's a perfect case study in how money isn't just a practical thing, it acts like an accelerant.
An accelerant, that's a great way to put it.
Yeah, this financial fear, it doesn't just create problems, it finds every single existing crack in communication, in trust, and just widens it aggressively. People start performing, trying to prove their worth instead of just being vulnerable.
Okay, so let's jump right in and set the scene. We start out on the farm. The atmosphere is, it's busy, but it feels fragile.
Very fragile. George and Eddie are dealing with what the source calls, which I love, lively turkeys.
A little off their heads, apparently.
Exactly. So on the surface, they're productive. Eddie's making plans to go to Borchester. He's got to unload some cattle at the market. But underneath all that practical chatter, there's this low-grade alarm bell ringing.
And it's centered on that missing envelope of money, right?
Yes. The one that George's partner, Amber, even tried to help Eddie find. So that's hanging in the air.
That missing money is just this invisible weight over everything. And when George and Amber meet for lunch, we get the first really clear signal of crisis.
Oh, yeah.
Amber is immediately anxious about spending a single penny. She's worried about having, and I'm quoting, money to waste on a bought lunch.
Even with George's staff discount.
Right, which tells you everything.
And her anxiety is completely well-founded, because George then just confesses the harsh truth. The Christmas turkey work is pretty much done.
And once it's over,
he has, in his words, nothing coming in. This isn't just a tight month. I mean, this is a total structural collapse for them.
And they're living with his father and sister.
So their entire stability is built on borrowed time and a borrowed roof.
That really shifts the dynamic straight into crisis mode, doesn't it? When you're on that kind of edge, every small decision feels massive.
Absolutely. And what really drove home the desperation for me was Amber's suggestion.
Oh, the ring.
The ring. She actually brings up selling her engagement ring because, as she puts it, things have been so difficult.
Wow. The symbolism of that.
Is completely overwhelmed by the need for cash. I mean, when you're at the point of sacrificing something with that much sentimental value just for basics, the situation is absolutely dire.
It's that kind of urgency that just makes people panic.
And stop thinking rationally.
So while George and Amber are navigating this really intense personal dilemma, we see this parallel tension playing out in the wider community, this time with Brad and his mother.
And this really highlights that conflict between, supporting your community and just personal survival.
It's the stark reality of modern economics hitting a small town.
Totally. Brad's mother is doing the big shop because their own cupboards are, as she says, completely bare. And the key detail is where she decides to shop.
Right. She's actively, deliberately avoiding Susan's village shop.
A shop we know is struggling so much, it's operating out of the church.
And it's not personal. It's not because she dislikes Susan.
No, it's purely financial. She says it outright. She can't afford the prices. If she shops local, she won't have anything left for Christmas presents.
And she even names them pants and PJs for Brad. That tiny detail, getting basic clothing for Christmas, it just perfectly illustrates why the superstore wins.
It's survival first. It has to be.
That's such a powerful insight into the pressures on so many families, that choice between sort of local ethics and just budget ethics.
And we also get this funny, almost grounding moment during her shopping trip, a little distraction from the reality of it all.
Yeah, she admits she got a bit carried away with the offers.
Buying lentils and L rolls, it's like a small way to feel in control. And then she brings up this amazing memory about a time Chelsea, a friend or relative, we assume, rammed a trolley straight into a Tupperware display.
Just sending plastic everywhere.
Exactly. And those little moments of chaos, they show how stress comes out. For her, it's frantic bargain hunting. But let's swing back to George and Amber,
Because their stress manifests as an all-out confrontation.
And it's centered directly on that missing turkey money. The pressure cooker just explodes.
So Amber's quiet worry about the engagement ring, like, how could he afford this when they're so broke?
It becomes a direct question. And George, who's already feeling so insecure about his own worth, he just...
Introducing the Archer's mug, where elegance meets everyday comfort. Crafted from premium white ceramic, designed with vibrant peekaboo colors inside, simple, modern, and stylish. Start your day the Archer's way, with warmth, familiarity, and the comfort of voices you've come to love. As the stories unfold on the Archers, let this mug become part of your daily ritual, a small reminder of life in Ambridge. Practical for every home, dishwasher and microwave safe. Available in 2 sizes, 11 ounces and 15 ounces, designed to fit your lifestyle. Enjoy your favorite drink in a mug that connects you to Britain's most beloved countryside story, The Archers. For more information, and to order your very own The Archers mug, follow the link below and make it part of your daily routine.
He leaps to the most painful conclusion possible.
He just voices the accusation that's hanging in the air. You think I took his missing turkey money and spent it on that ring, don't you?
And for him, that is devastating. It confers his deepest fear about what she might really think of him. It's a fundamental attack on his identity.
He just falls apart.
Completely. A profound sense of betrayal. He says to her, "You were the one person I thought really believed in me, trusted me, and knew me." He insists he would never steal from my family. This isn't about cash anymore. It's about his integrity.
The integrity he desperately needs her to see in him. And what's so fascinating, if a bit, I don't know, anticlimactic from a plot perspective, is how quickly the actual theft part of it is resolved.
Oh, it's almost instant. Just after this huge emotional blow-up,
Eddie calls
Amber. Mystery solved. The envelope was in a zip pocket of an old jacket he hadn't worn in weeks. His memory was just wrong.
So the money is safe.
The money is safe, but the damage is done. That breach of trust is still raw.
And because the money is found, George is now forced to confront the real secret he was hiding about the ring.
Exactly. He has to reveal the true source of the money, and it's rooted entirely in this desperate need to prove himself.
And the truth is almost more humiliating than if he had stolen it.
Far more. He admits his father lent him some money just to tide me over, but then he blew the lot on the ring.
It wasn't just a gesture of love.
Not at all. It was a reckless, desperate attempt to buy legitimacy. He says he did it to prove I wasn't a total loser.
That insecurity is just driving these catastrophic decisions. He can't ask for help, so he performs this extravagant stability instead.
And Amber, realizing what she's implied, she apologizes. She says she didn't really think he was a thief. But her reason for panicking is so revealing.
It is. It connects everything back to his history.
She says she's so worried about anything happening that might mean you going back to prison. And that one line, that is the engine of all her mistrust.
So because of his past, her stress immediately jumped to an accusation of theft. Because in her mind, if the money was stolen,
George would be the one to pay the price.
And George, instead of seeing her fear, he just pivots. He weaponizes his own insecurity and attacks her about the wedding.
He completely flips it. He takes her fear of his past and turns it into an accusation that she's getting cold feet.
He suggests that, having a boyfriend in prison was fun for a while, but now that he's out and life is real, she's backing away.
It's textbook self-sabotage. He assumes he's going to be rejected, so he just pushes her away first.
Amber gives what seem like pretty reasonable excuses for the delay. She wants her parents there, and they can't afford it.
The affordability thing is 100% real. But George isn't listening to reality anymore. He's only listening to his insecurity.
So he tests her. He suggests they go view a wedding venue this Friday on his day off.
And that's where the whole conversation just collapses into this tiny, trivial detail.
No excuse.
She says she has a nail appointment. And to George's mind, that becomes the ultimate symbol of her lack of commitment. A manicure is more important than their future.
A nail appointment. That's the hill their relationship might die on.
It's a classic case of projection, isn't it? The deep emotional issues get projected onto the shallowest excuses. If they could just talk about the fear around his prison time, they wouldn't be fighting about nail polish.
That George and Amber storyline is pure explosion. But we should shift gears and look at the parallel anxiety playing out with Brad and his mother.
Yes, which is all about silence and withdrawal.
It's such a crucial contrast. Instead of that loud confrontation, Brad is dealing with this quiet, internal struggle.
And his mother is noticing. She sees these subtle but worrying changes. She says he's daydreamy and distant, like he's gone somewhere in your head.
Her first reaction is interesting, though. She looks for an external cause. She wonders if George has been pressuring him.
But she quickly realizes it's something internal. It's Brad's own mood. She thinks he's low or anxious or just out of sorts.
And this leads to a really important discussion. His mother starts actively challenging this really deep-seated societal norm.
She gets into the pressure on boys and men to just tough it out. That old keep calm and carry on idea.
She's basically advocating for mental health awareness right there in the grocery aisle.
She is. She insists that men need to talk about their feelings, that bottling up anxiety is destructive. She's trying to foster vulnerability.
Which is exactly what George and Amber failed to do.
But Brad, who has maybe already internalized that pressure, he just denies everything. He's not depressed, he's not lovesick, he's all right.
Just a bit tired.
Right, a bit tired from uni and at work. He uses fatigue as a shield to avoid being vulnerable.
And she leaves him with that warning not to bottle it all up, but you can see the damage is already there in his silence.
So you have these two young men, both facing similar pressures, the need to perform success, to perform emotional control, but they react in completely opposite ways.
George explodes outward and displaces his insecurity onto Amber.
And Brad retracts inward, displacing his anxiety onto being tired.
Okay, so pulling these two threads together, what we're really seeing is how this constant demand for external validation is destroying these relationships.
That's it, exactly. George is desperately trying to prove he's not a loser, not a thief, and that need for validation makes him see betrayal everywhere.
And Brad is struggling to manage university and work while feeling, internally low. But the pressure not to appear lovesick or depressed just keeps him silent.
It prevents his own mother from being able to help him. The sources just show so beautifully how financial strain turns up the volume on all these pre-existing emotional conflicts.
So the ultimate takeaway is that it's never just about the money.
Or the ring, or the wedding date.
It's about the overwhelming burden of having to perform competency when deep down you feel completely incompetent.
Absolutely. The discovery of Eddie's money, it solved the immediate plot point. George wasn't a thief, but the deep, painful breach of trust that remains completely unresolved. They use this crisis to reveal secrets and fears that they now have to live with.
So a final thought for you to consider as you go about your day. After an argument like that, when the worst has been said and trust has been fundamentally questioned, can they actually repair that? Can a relationship survive when one person's greatest fear is the other person's past? Or is that emotional shrapnel just too sharp to ever fully remove?
That is the core question. They're facing a huge emotional recovery now, not just a financial one.
A powerful thought. Thank you for diving deep with us today.
And my pleasure.
We'll catch you next time.
So, what are you doing now?
Just getting ready for the next episode. Just moving mics around.
So, what do you do?
I do the spot effects on the arches. Any
Are you what we
movements
call Foley then?
kind of. Yep.
Okay. And these are all part of the paraphernalia of production.
Yep. That's the ball bar. That's,
This one.
yep. That's.
Haley so wanted to be in their own place when their baby came. It's due in 2 months. Not much chance of that now. No. I mean, it would have been a stretch for them financially, mind, but I just wish there was something practical I could do to help them, Caroline.
I think The Archers has had this immense popularity over the years, basically because it has always very accurately reflected the reality of life and living in a rural community at whatever